Now, ever since it first came out, I've been a big fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! I've got a dueling deck, that Magician's my favourite character, and I've collected the cards for years on and off.
A few moments later.
So I thought it'd be quite fun to take some Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters and turn them into some SCP counterparts. So, let's bring these illustrations to life. Welcome to the SCP Foundation. Before we begin, I'd like to take note that I am not responsible for the increase in anomalies classified as SCPs throughout the world in recent days. Despite the fact that my research has been in interdimensional creatures, the means to access these dimensions on this scale is far beyond the technological advancements of mankind to date. With that said, perhaps we should continue what has been happening. Several years ago, a strange array of anomalies, or as we like to call them, SCPs. These creatures come in a variety of classifications, but you should already know that information since you are here today. To find out more about this new class of SCPs, which the Foundation has dubbed SCP-Y, this is due to the creatures being discovered by Professor YUGIOH, another one of the researchers within the Foundation. Although it has been said at times he is like two different people, he is one of the rare few who have been allowed to keep one of several rare artifact-type SCPs, but more information on Professor YUGIOH is classified. Perhaps you'll be informed on this over time depending on how long you last within the Foundation. As I was saying, this first encounter we had is with SCP-Y classification. It was with a large black dragon creature, which has been given the designation SCP-Y-RB001. SCP-Y-RB001 has also been given the rather simplistic yet apt nickname of Red Eyes, due to the pure crimson colour of its eyes. Although the body of Red Eyes is best described as black, it is made out of an armour-like material which we have yet to identify or even pierce in any way, showing properties portrayed in metallic substances. However, the armed scales and hide of this SCP are so tough not even diamonds can make a dent in them. Red Eyes, as we will refer to it going forward, has razor-sharp blades all over its body. This creature's armour resembles that of an insect's exoskeleton. With clear segments, however, even when struck at the joints of Red Eyes, it has been proven to be just as durable and resilient as the armour body is covered in. Two long black wings come out of its back, and they are both flexible and made from the same metallic-like hide. It is a wonder how Red Eyes can fly. In fact, Red Eyes can hover by some unknown means without moving its wings, allowing this SCP to attack using the razor-sharp wings at its disposal. From what we have seen, at the expense of several D-Class personnel, Red Eyes has several attacks it likes to perform. I must express, however, Red Eyes has an extremely volatile and aggressive nature, attacking almost anything that comes within its territory. There are very few SCPs or creatures that Red Eyes will not attack violently. The first attack ended up dismembering the target, as Red Eyes slashed with its sharp claws that sliced through the D-Class like a hot knife through butter. We next lost two more D-Class personnel when Red Eyes swung its blade-armoured tail, slicing the victims clean into like a chainsaw cutting through a thin branch. However, what showed the true violent nature of Red Eyes was the next thing the SCP did. Red Eyes must have been extremely annoyed at this point and full of rage. It has been reported that Red Eyes roared at the next D-Class. In a flash, the tail of this SCP was thrust through the stomach of the D-Class, piercing all the way through. Red Eyes then slowly lifted up the D-Class while, for lack of a better term, it is reported that Red Eyes snarled at the D-Class, who at this point was barely alive but still conscious. Red Eyes then opened its mouth wide, and in the depths of the pitch black darkness behind the razor-sharp teeth and slimy tongue, a yellow light began to appear, before an orange hue started to glow within the yellow. The last thing the D-Class saw was a large fire blast heading towards them. The agents on scene did report that the D-Class did not cry out as the blast began to incinerate them. It has been assumed that the D-Class may have lost consciousness or already passed, moments before being engulfed in the flames. The heat from the blast was so intense that the surrounding area was not only devastated, the surrounding ground and structures were melted. Due to the violent nature of Red Eyes and the scope of its abilities, it has been given the class of Euclid. As such, containment of Red Eyes has been maintained by sectioning off an area we believe to be the territory it has claimed. We have continued to study SCP-Y-RB001. Red Eyes, however, this study has been done from afar. The scales in which this creature has shed has been taken by the Foundation and are being analysed in the lab. All information on these specimens are classified as SCP-Y-RB001-A, and they are classified. Just a quick interruption, guys, to let you know if you want to get any of the artwork from today's video or previous videos on the channel, be sure to check out the Patreon, the best place to get high-res versions of any of the artwork done. You'll also get access to the Discord with a members-only section to ask me a question or do video suggestions, and a whole bunch of other fun stuff. Let's get back to bringing these illustrations to life. Our next anomaly in the SCP-Y series is SCP-Y-5458, designation Moon Shadow. This SCP has the appearance of what can best be described as a harpy. SCP-Y-5458 is a humanoid-like creature with large feathered wings instead of arms, legs with razor-sharp talons, a long golden mane that covers the head and shoulders, and a large red head crest. The eyes of this SCP are able to see long distance with crystal clarity. In fact, the Foundation's most powerful telescopes are unable to see with such accuracy. It was also discovered that SCP-Y-5458 may have a form of night vision, although this is yet to be confirmed. It was discovered during the encounter with this SCP that it possessed a rather high level of intelligence, being able to set up and ambush the exploration team sent to investigate rumours of a harpy-like creature that appeared in Sector 5 Gamma. In case you were wondering, locations in the world where anomalies appear are all classified into sectors by the O5 Council. This is one of the precautions to avoid widespread panic across the globe. The Foundation has spent immeasurable resources to keep the existence of anomalistic entities hidden from the world. Of course, there are cases where some information has been released about a select number of SCPs. We've all heard the stories of Bigfoot, Yetis, Loch Ness Monster, and other such creatures. These are all entities that the Foundation has classified as Euclid, where the Foundation has also established secure containment procedures. With that said, we can continue with our briefing on SCP-Y-5458, aka Moon Shadow. As mentioned earlier, this anomaly possesses a high level of intelligence to the degree of ambushing a team of elite agents sent by the Foundation. It was during this incident that some of the abilities of this creature were made apparent. SCP-Y-5458 first seemed to be a rather cautious and timid creature. It watched the elite team as they slowly approached, its sharp vision following each and every member, analysing them while curious about what the agents were. It is being described by a surviving member of the D-Class personnel assigned to the team that the atmosphere was so sharp the slightest noise could cause chaos and panic to ensue. The team approached SCP-Y-5458, each step slow and cautious, their weapons trained on the creature poised to fire at a moment's notice. Noticing the team getting closer, SCP-Y-5458 proceeded to raise its wing, startling one of the D-Class members, causing them to stand on a stick. What happened next can only be described as complete mayhem. The moment the stick broke and the snapping sound echoed, breaking the tense silence in the air, the agents looked at the D-Class personnel for a split second. When they looked back to where SCP-Y-5458 had been located, the entity was no longer there. Within moments, a dark figure was behind one of the agents before suddenly disappearing within the blink of an eye. The agent turned their head, but it was too late. As their head turned, they could see the world spinning around as they hit the ground. The next thing they saw was a headless body fall to the floor before slowly closing their eyes. It is theorized that SCP-Y-5458 can move at supersonic speeds, and a simple swing of its wing was enough to clearly and effortlessly slice through a person. This is done so swiftly that only when the target of the attack moves will the damage be revealed, often leading to the same outcome. As if this wasn't terrifying enough, SCP-Y-5458 was able to launch feathers at high speeds, increasing the impact when these feathers hit their target. Using this method of attack, SCP-Y-5458 took out several of the entities in a matter of seconds before swooping down and grabbing the last armed team member and dragging them up in the air, its razor-sharp talons slicing into the body armor as if it was paper thin. The screams could be heard as SCP-Y-5458 dug its claws in deeper and flew up into the sky, before finally dropping the agent. I will spare you the details of what is described in the report, of what remains of that agent when they returned to the ground. I will say it was rather gruesome, however. After dismembering all but one of the D-Class personnel, SCP-Y-5458 turned and left after looking directly into the eyes of the last surviving member. Currently, the Foundation has recorded sightings of SCP-Y-5458, however, it's being decided by the O5 Council only distanced surveillance is permitted until a means of containment has been approved. Finally for today, we have SCP-Y-5893, designation Clayman. This entity was discovered in a quarry over in Sector 7 Beta. The workers of the quarry reported being attacked by a strange mud-like monster that seemed to be able to change its shape, looking like an armoured mass of earth. The Foundation, under orders from the O5 Council, sent out a research team to investigate the rumours of this incident. After arriving at the quarry, scientists from the Foundation discovered that the substance left on the trucks after the creature's attack was exhibiting properties of being alive. However, there seemed to be no obvious signs of sentience in the samples taken. The team did discover that when testing, it was more like a living clay, which under various stimuli would change or alter its shape and form, either becoming solid and extremely durable, or more like a liquid and extremely flexible and elastic in nature. This meant normal containment means would prove to be ineffective. The team sent a group of armoured personnel into the mines of the quarry to see if SCP-Y-5893 was present. The team entered the mine and proceeded into the depths under orders to maintain regular contact and report back within the hour. According to the footage from the cameras on the agent's equipment, the initial exploration into the mine showed nothing out of the ordinary. That was until the agents discovered traces of the clay-like substance running along the walls of the mine. The team followed the traces deeper and deeper into the mine. After a while, the agents entered a large cavern covered in minerals and gemstones. It was something that could be considered an unbelievable find. However, the agents had been trained to ignore distractions such as this, but as with all things, not everyone can resist the temptation or wealth, or in this case, a shiny sparkly object that can make you rich. This agent for a moment went to touch the gems on the cave wall, causing a distraction for the rest of the team, although brief. This distraction allowed for SCP-Y-5893 to catch the agents off guard. SCP-Y-5893 was in its more liquefied and elastic form and was extending from the walls of the cave towards the agent. They opened fire, but the bullets just stopped and became absorbed by this creature. Moments later, an arm formed with a barrel on the end of the fingers. The footage showed that the rounds absorbed by SCP-Y-5893 were fired back at the agents, leading to the death of 2 of them. It was at this point the remaining members of the team decided to use smoke grenades to try and obscure the focus of this creature in order to make their way back out of the mine. As they looked back, the agents could see SCP-Y-5893 coming out of the smoke. A misshaped stone-coloured half-human mass was coming out of the smoke. A red-shaped stone-grey coloured clay mass with light blue glowing eyes resembling a head. The footage of SCP-Y-5893 could be described at this point of something from one of those horror films. They are all the rage. I fail to see why, but when you work for the Foundation, you tend to see things which are more horrifying than these films can imagine. Back to SCP-Y-5893 and the incident we are looking at. SCP-Y-5893 launched its arm at the agent closest to it. As soon as the clay of the creature made contact, it began to spread over the agent at a rapid pace. It wasn't long before all that could be seen was a single arm and outstretched hand. This filled the last agent remaining with a sense of fear and dread as they turned and ran with all their might towards the entrance of the cave. The light from the outside shone like a bright ray of hope, filling the agent with a sense of relief, as outside the entrance were the rest of the exploration team. However, this sense of hope was all in vain. The agents outside reported the unfortunate events that happened next. The exploration team reported seeing a single member of the group sent into the mine running out in a state of panic, screaming something that was inaudible. Just as the agent leading the cave slowed down, which was the biggest mistake, a large stone tendril pierced his chest before extending into a hook shape. The agent was then violently dragged back into the cave. After this incident, the O5 Council has quarantined the mine with patrols and labelled the area as Site Delta Omega 6. It is believed that containment is still effective. However, being a creature made from clay, there is no real way at present to tell if SCP-Y-5893 has successfully been contained. What did you guys think of today's new series? Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters as SCPs. I'm really pleased with how they all came out. I think my favourite has to be the Red Eyes, SCP-Y-RB001. So I'll tell you what, how about you guys suggest some more Yu-Gi-Oh monsters in the comments below? Who would you like to see next? Maybe the Dark Magician, Blue Eyes White Dragon, Buster Blader, or the 3 Egyptian God cards? I think they'd make some pretty interesting SCPs, don't you? Don't forget guys, Monday is the final deadline for the community redraw, so be sure to get your submissions in. This month's redraw is designing a member of the tribes. We have 5 to select from. We've got the Jaguars, the Primals, the Tusks, the Serpents, and the Vines. Look forward to seeing all your submissions. Monday, we're going to be finishing off our Ghost Street Kaiju. Had a lot of fun with that, so be sure to come along to the live stream, say hi, and just hang out as we bring this illustration to life. Anyway, stay safe everybody. Catch you next time.